Hey guys, welcome back to my video, and today we're going to be doing another reaction story time. This one is titled, My Stepmother is Obsessed with Me. That's two. Different things like that. Okay. A piece of the chicken patty with some honey mustard, different stuff, until my hands toast again. I don't know, I'm in my kitchen background. I just love my kitchen.
Evil stepmom, right? Well, I wish that's what my stepmom had been like. Instead, she was in love with me, and not a mom and daughter way, but in an insane way. You won't believe it. I'm Francine, and I'm 18 now, but I want to start from the beginning because it's just insane.
You can wait. Oh, I gotta go get my stuff. On them. Okay, go back. Let's start this.
It all started when my parents and I had a horrible car accident when I was 6 years old. Some jerk was texting on his phone and not paying attention, and the next moment we were all flung from the car. Luckily, me and my dad were okay, but my mom wasn't. She died right in front of my eyes, and it was seriously the most devastating moment of my life. Even now, just telling you all, it's bringing me close to tears. Dad quit his job after that, and even after 3 months, he was still completely heartbroken. He didn't even leave the house. At one point, I couldn't bear to see my dad so sad. I thought maybe if he met someone new, he'd be happy. And even though I was still so young at the time, I knew my mom would want my dad to have a chance at happiness again. So, I suggested it to him, and he was hesitant at first, but then he agreed. My Aunt Rebecca looked after me while my dad went out on a date. I thought he'd only be gone like 1 hour, but he only came back 4 days later. When I heard his car pull up, I ran outside to hug him. I'd missed him so much, but then I noticed there was someone behind him. Francine, I'd like you to meet Stephanie, he said. She's going to be your new mom. She looked so...
Time out. They literally only been dating for 4 days, and they're already discussing with it. That's... I know my mom gets into relationships quickly with her girlfriend Alicia. I think they're always off and on, so like...
friendly and reminded me of a mermaid with long red hair. I was happy for my dad. Stephanie came up to me and hugged me, and I felt kind of shy. But then she said, "Your dad has told me so much about you." And then I felt better. And she told me how she was from Ireland but had moved to Seattle, and now she'd found love and couldn't wait to live with us. Everything happened quite quickly after that. They got married, and the wedding was amazing. I got to wear the prettiest dress, and it was so much fun.
I like how you're still a kid in this picture. When did you grow up? When did they get married? Like 2 weeks later?
But all through the wedding, Stephanie kept staring at me. It wasn't creepy or anything, just a bit weird. Shouldn't she have been staring at my dad? Anyway, I soon forgot about it, and life went on.
So I want to make sure you're okay, because, you know, you're a kid. I feel like if I was getting married to my fiance, he had a kid, I would probably do the whole wedding reception. I'll keep taking glances at the kid, making sure she's okay. I want her to like me. Don't want to get her out though.
My dad worked in a big bank, so he was always busy. Stephanie was the one taking care of me, and we had so much fun together. She loved to give me makeovers, painting my nails, and playing with my hair. And she even bought me lots of toys. Honestly, I was so happy. Stephanie was the best stepmom I ever could have asked for. I imagined my mom smiling down at me and being happy that I was so happy. Little did I know how things would change the minute I turned 18. It's not that she suddenly turned evil. Actually, it was the opposite. Whenever I go to school, she kept kissing my cheeks 7 times. I thought it was kind of normal, so I ignored it. But once, when school was over, I was about to ride the bus until Stephanie showed up. She ran up to me and hugged me very tightly. I could barely breathe. It was kind of embarrassing because my friends were all there. My face was literally buried in her chest. I didn't understand why.
You didn't laugh about it. At least she had small boobs. My mom, and when you were a kid, you give her a hug or something. Maybe just be squished. Your face would be squished to her boobs like this. Imagine that. You won't even be able to breathe. And she saw it too. I'm taller than my mom, and I'm 5'3".
Why she was being so clingy all of a sudden. But this needed to stop. Then one Saturday, I invited my boyfriend Harold over. My dad and Stephanie were out, so we'd have the house to ourselves. It was great. We were making out on the sofa, and then I quickly went to get us some snacks. I was reaching into the fridge to get something when I felt someone touch my ass. I started laughing and said, "Harold, I've only been gone like a second. Am I that irresistible?" But when I turned around, it wasn't Harold. It was Stephanie. What the heck do you think you're doing?
That isn't weird in my household. We always slap each other's butts. I don't know what that's My mom's always slapping our butts and telling us we got cake. Well, it's not weird for us.
I shouted at her. She went quiet for a second, and then she told me something that would turn my life upside down. "Francine, I've wanted to tell you for a while now. I've had a crush on you ever since you were a child." Oh my God.
That's rape.
I felt sick. Was she insane? Then she kept talking. She said, "Ever since I married your dad, I've only had eyes for you. But I had to wait until you turned 18 before I could confess. It feels so good to finally tell you it's you I love, not your dad." I thought I was going to puke. And then I said, "Are you nuts? You're my stepmom. You're a freak." By then I was really shouting, and Harold came running through and said, "Babe, is everything okay?" I told him everything was fine, but that I wanted to go over to his place instead, so that we could be alone for reals. I could tell from the look on Stephanie's face that she was jealous of Harold, and ever since she'd confessed, I made sure to stay out of her way. She made me so uncomfortable, but she wouldn't leave me alone. One night, I was chilling with my friends in my room, and she came in wearing this see-through nightgown, and she was carrying a plate of cookies. I thought she'd just leave them with us, then go, but she sat next to me and kept hugging me. It was torture. Eventually, she left, and I felt so sick. When would this end, I thought. Summer vacation came, and...
Call the cops! People in this anime story don't call cops. I thought it was a spider for a minute. I thought you probably would have heard a lot of screaming in this video.
We headed to the beach. Harold was also there with my family, and he decided to teach me how to surf. I was actually pretty good at it, but then I slipped and the waves were so big. I started screaming for help, and Harold finally saved me. He carried me back to the beach, and when I opened my eyes, we were just staring at each other, and it was so romantic. But suddenly, Harold went flying.
Damn.
Stephanie had pushed him aside and leapt in to give me CPR. And I'm not joking, she started kissing me. She knew I was fine, but she kept pretending to give me CPR just so she could kiss me. The worst part is that everyone thought she'd saved my life. Actually, Harold was the hero, not her.
You best tell someone that you were alive and your mom just... I swear to God, if my stepmom ever did this. If Casper ever did this. I'm telling my mom, telling everyone.
After that, I'd had enough. I couldn't take it any longer. I waited until my dad was sitting alone one night and decided that was the perfect time to reveal Stephanie's true colors. I sat next to him and said, "Dad, I need to tell you something." Stephanie doesn't love you. It's me she loves. We need to get rid of her before she destroys our family. My dad just laughed. He thought I was joking. Then he said, "Oh, sweetie, come on. She loves us both. Don't worry. Of course she loves me." Oh, why didn't he believe me? After that, I felt annoyed.
Maybe because if you told your dad, "Hey, Daddy, stepmom's in love with me, not in love with you," what do you think he's gonna think? I swear, people are just dumb.
I asked Harold to come over and keep me company. We were in my room doing homework with the door closed, when suddenly my dad barged in. He started shouting at Harold, saying, "Stay away from my daughter, do you hear me?" I asked my dad what was going on, and he said that Stephanie told him Harold was trying to have his way with me. I couldn't believe it.
Yo!
I told my dad we were just studying, but he made Harold leave and said, "If you ever come near my daughter again, you'll have me to answer to."
I would have shot my stepmother. I'm just saying, I would have shot her.
I'm coming.
Because he seemed like a pretty decent guy. He wasn't a jockey like most guys, okay? Most guys, when you close your room door, you get in your room door, you just start getting mad kinky. At least they were just doing homework. Other guys, maybe that idea, but not Harold. He seemed like a little guy. But no.
I got that. Oh my God. Stephanie was the absolute worst. How could she sink this low? She was now evil, like properly evil. I went straight to find her and said, "How could you do this to me? You know Harold is my boyfriend. Stop being so obsessed with me and let me live my life." She just laughed and denied it, saying I was acting crazy. Then just as I was about to leave, she said, "I want you all to myself. So anytime you have a boyfriend, I'll tell your dad he's bad news, and you know your dad will always believe everything I say."
Yo. Ooh! I would probably try and do the things I would have done to my stepmother if she acted like this. I probably would have recorded it one day. I would have recorded her doing this and showed it to my father. Like, "Father, do you see what she be doing to me? Do you see what she be saying to me? How she want me all to herself? No. Do you see these? Do you see the video? Yeah. That's the tea. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it."
I'm doing this because I love you, Francine. I was about to freak out at her when suddenly a plate smashed right behind us. I turned around and my dad was standing there with tears in his eyes. He was shaking and told Stephanie to get out of his sight and to never come back. I was relieved she was gone, but my dad was miserable. It reminded me of how he'd been when Mom had died, and I couldn't bear it. After hours of watching him lying in bed crying, I realized I had to do something. I had to find Stephanie. It took me about 6 hours, but I didn't give up until I found her. She was sitting on a bench crying, and I sat down next to her. She obviously wasn't expecting to see me, and started apologizing, saying she didn't mean to cause so much trouble. I said to her, "If you really love me, then you'll go make up with my dad and be a perfect family for me." She agreed, and we walked back to the house together. My dad wasn't happy to see her, but she begged him to give her another chance. Luckily, my dad isn't a heartless guy, and so he forgave.
My dad is heartless. My dad over here, my stepmom says this to me. "You know you dump my house." My dad's heartless.
Her.
No cap.
They even apologized to Harold for the misunderstanding. And now we're a happy family. Stephanie is having therapy, and now she treats me like her daughter again, instead of her crush. I know we'll get through this, and she'll get back to being the Stephanie I knew and loved as a kid.
That's so beautiful. Oh my god. P.S. I want you guys to watch this thing with you. It's a really good thing, so yeah. I want to watch this with you. Okay, so it's there's this channel called I love it. It's my short story. It's called Short Stories. And it's basically it takes short stories and turns it into like little mini movies, episodes and everything. And there's one that has 4 episodes already, and it's the end of that season. So I'm gonna watch it with you guys. I want to see it, you guys. Love it. I've seen a few of these videos, but there's one I want to watch. The night one, I really want to see it, but I want to see it with you guys. So I want to if you like it. So yeah, let's watch it together. Okay, so it's called Rich Kid. Oh, this is called episode 4. We're not even on episode 4. Do they have like part 1 and everything? I really hope they do too. Like the last part 1. And then we'll see part 1 and everything. So I can not be lost completely when I watch stuff. Minus anime. I don't know. I get lost when watching American shows and anime shows. Junior, I love you. No, you don't.
New country crock plant butter tastes like butter, which means it's even loved by 5-year-old Cammy, who doesn't eat anything but buttered noodles. Oh, right. And now, plant buttered noodles.
Here's the add-on.
Even butter lovers love it.
I volunteered as you make this make serve French toast. Add this cinnamon sugar.
I'm Kirsty,
It is
and
the
I have
best
an identical
thing
twin sister
you will
called
ever
Arabelle.
have on
We
your
didn't
French
have
toast.
a normal upbringing, as our mom
You know
abandoned
how-
us at an orphanage when we were 6.
God. You know how when you're tasting cinnamon rolls or churros, they have like that sugary cinnamon thing? That is this. Put on your French toast, amazing. I'm eating together right now. If you guys really want to see my dish. It looks disgusting. It's really good. Let's see it. It looks burnt, but you can see the little cinnamon sugar stuff. The cinnamon sugar, other random part and everything. It is really, really good. P.S. If you guys just wanted to know that. That was today's tea. I exposed. I do have a lot of tea. And my tea's always hot.
You all know the typical stereotype.
Tea whisperer.
Do you even know how to shop online? Because I didn't until I found out about Piggy.
Let's
So
just
Piggy
like,
searches
oh
the entire
God.
internet to find...
I'm sure I'll remember this week. Yo! No! Kristen, gonna be a fork? Kristen! Gonna be a fork? Kristen, can you? Kristen! Can you pass me a fork and move with that? Found it. I think it's episodes 1 to 3. But then we're gonna see episode 4. Chris, can you give me a fork? Move, can you get out of the kitchen? Mom. William. Right there. Hi, William. Hello, Naomi and Jeremy. Oh, God. If you're wondering why I know their names, it does this with them, like how they do the shows. They have, like, the names and then the people. So this, I'm guessing this is Naomi because it's a girl, and then the James the boy. I don't know. Or if their names are switched. I don't really know. Chris, you have me a fork. Why does he look like one of my exes? Why does he look like one of my exes? And his name's Dave. Mom's name was Kayla. It was one of my theme when I was in a punk rock thing. Okay, I was gonna do that. Wait a minute. We only learned the 3 boys' name and like, oh. Oh, I didn't notice the girl's name. We'll find out later, I believe. We'll find out. We're looking at our section of animation series, Rich Kids.
Hello, my name is Louise.
Hello,
Everyone
Louise.
calls me Lou. From the
Hello.
outside, it probably looks like I have the
Look on
most
the kitchen.
glamorous life. I
Yes, it
come
does.
from a rich family. I went to a prominent private college in New York, and I
Damn.
live in a mansion called Plutus Heights with my group of friends. Sounds
Damn.
pretty epic, right?
Hell yeah, it does.
Who wouldn't want
I
to
gotta
live with a
read
bunch of
college.
rich kids?
How many rooms
Well,
do you have?
just wait. So many
Fuck,
unexpected
please.
things were about to happen to me.
Yo.
including my current dreamy boyfriend.
Can I please
and
get
it
a
all
fork?
started the day I moved into Plutus Heights. Before I dive into all the crazy stuff that happened to me, let me tell you a bit more about myself. My parents run
Kristen.
a super successful restaurant.
Kristen.
Fast food joints to fine dining, they cover it all. Because
Yes.
of this, I've always been interested in the food industry. So that's why I chose
Muhammad.
to study economics and food
Doing
industry
college,
management. However, there was just one small problem. I was still living at home with my parents, and I have a 5-year-old little brother, so it was pretty distracting. All my friends were living in their own fancy loft apartments, and I wanted that independent life too. Well, lucky for me, it was just around the corner. One day, my dad invited a business friend he'd met earlier that year over for dinner. He was big in the tech world, and my dad loved these kinds of networking dinners. This guy brought his family, and that's when I met Aaliyah. She was the same age as me, and we had so much in common. In fact, she even studied at the same college as me. The best part was that when my dad mentioned that he was looking for a place for me to start living independently, Aaliyah suddenly said, "Lou, oh my god, you should totally move into the mansion I live in."
Hell yeah.
This was what I wanted. I was so scared my
Where you
parents
going?
would say no, but actually, they were totally
Yeah.
on board. I think they...
Friends
are buying the new
I sucked yours. I sucked as well. Okay, I'm back. Be good.
On your go-to app for videos. Watch it now on YouTube. Yeast infection? Get relief faster with Monistat, the #1 gynecologist recommended brand.
They realized it was time I had my own space.
Finally.
They came to move into Plutus Heights. It looked like a palace. Honestly,
It does look like a mansion.
European fairy tale.
Damn.
There were pillars and even 2 white lions by the front door.
Damn, I have a fucking
I
castle.
seriously expected a butler to appear. Aaliyah was waiting by the door for me and gave me the grand tour. I think my jaw almost hit the marble floor. I thought that this mansion was for students.
Marble?
The entire
Students?
of this mansion was very luxurious and splendid, but the more she showed me, the more I started to feel uncomfortable. These fancy things just didn't fit me. I wasn't into showing off at all, but it seemed like this palace was built for that reason. So what could I do? I was already there, so I guess I just have to get used to it. As Aaliyah showed me around, she told me about the other students who lived there. Jeremy, Phil, and Mark were the 3 guys who owned the place. Well, their parents owned it, but technically it was theirs now. They were all best friends, and Jeremy's girlfriend Naomi also lived there. But Naomi had been uncomfortable with being the only girl, so she'd asked Aaliyah to move in too. Aaliyah's family weren't exactly over the moon about her living with 3 boys and a couple, so they felt much better now knowing that I was going to be living there too. Weirdly enough, my parents were fine about the fact I'd be living with 3 boys.
Wow.
After a few days living there,
Wait a minute.
I
3
realized
boys,
that
3 girls,
it was
boom.
totally fine too.
I'll get a guy.
Any contact with the others. It was only after a few months when I threw a welcome party for a newbie.
Wait a minute. Time out. There was 4 guys. Because the David, William, Jamie, and Mark. Yeah, 4 guys. I'm not
But I
stupid.
really got to know them. David was Mark's cousin and had just enrolled at our college, majoring in
Say
business
that.
management. Aaliyah told me that David was quite an extravagant person and came from a seriously rich family.
Damn. You got that cheddar cheese?
Must do
Right,
or
put that ring on me.
desired to be famous. But to be honest, I have hated flashy parties anyway. The party was held on the lawn of the mansion, and Aaliyah had warned me to dress accordingly. And when Aaliyah saw me wearing jeans and a blouse, she immediately dragged me to the room.
Did you just wear this? Oh, the boo-boo? Oh, the up and down dress. I thought just formal. You don't have a dress? But I do have a dress. No! Come here. Put on that one. The $25,000 K one. Yeah. Put it on. I don't care what you want. Put it on. I'm shoving you over the body.
And let me the most flashy dress I've ever seen. I felt so
Theater, I would love
ridiculous in
that.
it. Yes, I was born into the U.S. elite, but it just wasn't my style to wear fancy clothes and show off like this. As soon as we went down to the party, Jeremy, Will, and Mark were already surrounded by a group of
Phoenix Ultrasoft made with 3 layers for superior.
I was low key, but just been like,
Phoenix Ultrasoft.
sub G's.
Harper isn't home. Her parents don't know we're together.
So her parents are believing that their straight daughter
Abby,
brought home her lesbian friend?
they also think that I'm straight.
Have they ever met a lesbian?
I want to watch this movie. That's a good movie.
for girls. Typical, right? What else do you expect from a rich?
Damn. Watch that Jamie's like too cute. But then damn, so small. But then so is William.
Handsome guy. Jeremy is African American and is pretty much John Legend's twin. He
Damn,
barely showed up
her.
to class, and instead spent most of his time out singing. Actually, he was already pretty famous, and Aaliyah told him he was worth millions already.
Damn, millions?
He was a big magnet, and all the girls were swarming around him. Honestly, he was such an attention seeker. I basically rolled my eyes when I saw him. Then there was Mark. At first, I'd been excited to meet him because his family ran an investment company and he was the head of the college's investment hub, where he taught people how to invest their money, family money, wink wink, to make
Wink,
investment
wink.
decisions. I immediately joined the club, but I quickly regretted it. Mark was so strict. He made us investigate various companies' financial situations and report back to him. Then,
Oh, hell no, I would have left that club.
call us out in front of everyone. It was humiliating. Loads of people dropped out of the club, and I almost did too. Okay, and I can't forget Will. He was studying engineering,
Yeah, Will.
and he always said good morning to me and smiled at me. Seemed to be the most gentle guy here. Out of
Good
the
morning.
guys, he was the only one who really greeted me, and yet that was how
Hello.
it went. For some reason, he kept his distance. He smiled, but it felt cold somehow. I figured it was because he
First of all, when someone rich smiles at you, they don't even know it's fake. They don't smile. Name one rich kid that you know that is so flippin' happy with their lives. They have friends, they don't cry at all. I'm wait. Yeah, can't think of one, but I thought.
basically came from a royal family, and that kindly expression was just glued to their face. You know,
Exactly.
to dangerously hide something inside them. Anytime I approached him, he would just smile, then walk away. And it wasn't
I don't know how I would do unless I'm a crush. Just, gross. Hey, put your head down and walk away.
he showed no interest in any of the girls at the party either. But anyway, that's enough about the boys. The party was now in full swing, and I was standing there all by myself, feeling awkward. I had to find someone to talk to, but Aaliyah was too busy with her friends. Just at that moment, Naomi arrived in the most ridiculous haute couture dress. Oh, I haven't told you about Naomi yet. Okay,
Damn!
so she's basically a
Her freaking jewelry! Her earrings probably cost more than my rent. They're literally just diamond on top of diamond. It's a freaking pyramid of diamonds. Her same thing with her bracelet and her necklace. I'm pretty sure that necklace by itself just probably cost more than my rent.
a celeb. Her whole family are celebs, and she's been a model since she was 15.
What?
Unlike her boyfriend Jeremy, she was quite hard to approach.
Jeremy.
She was
Don't email Jeremy emails to
Never anyone,
Jeremy.
unless they were a select two. As soon as Jeremy saw Naomi, he pushed all the other girls away and headed
Oh, Jeremy's this dude.
towards her for
The
a kiss.
famous one.
The party was
Famous
already
brother.
driving me crazy, and it had just started.
Same
I was
here.
about to go back to my room when I spotted David sitting alone under a tree on the lawn. I plucked up the courage to go chat to him and asked if he was okay.
Time out. As I Hennessy, I'll probably be under that tree with him, just drinking. You know. I'm not trying to probably just drag you out of your house to go to a bar. Some day. Given I'm not being social.
He said, "What do you think? This is meant to be my party. But just look around. I might as well be invisible."
Then he told me that since college, everything had gone downhill. He was no longer the popular guy he'd once been.
Oh, you poor thing. Are you crying because no one really notices your... Reason why I hate rich people.
I was about to sit down next to him and comfort him when all of a sudden, something smashed. I quickly turned around, and there were two girls standing there with shards of a porcelain statue around their feet.
Porcelain?
The whole party had gone silent, and everyone was just staring in shock. One of the girls came right up to David and yelled out, "You think it's okay to just shove my friend by text and then move right on to the next girl?" He grinned and said,
She just couldn't satisfy me anymore.
the friend of his ex shouted, "Oh boy, you couldn't afford her. What are you expecting?" At that
Couldn't afford her? Couldn't afford... How much is his freaking outfit? But probably $1 million.
David went bright red and shouted, "There's nothing I can afford."
Period. Let her know.
Comment hurt David's pride because he looked so hurt and angry and started rushing towards her. So I quickly jumped in between them to hold him back. Suddenly, David grabbed my hand and said,
At least I'm with a more mature girl now. Someone who actually deserves me.
I'm so embarrassed.
If I was vibing at a party, and I'm trying to break up a fight, the person who's fighting, the guy who's fighting, is like, at least I'm with someone mature, and he ain't talking about me. I'm like, sir, I'm single. I don't even know your name. Oh my God, I had mental problems.
Everyone was watching, and I hated being in the spotlight like this. I didn't know what else to do.
Same here.
So I just played along and kept on holding his hand.
People don't do that.
Both looked so shocked and started walking away. But David quickly called out to them.
Oh, by the way, girls, that statue you just smashed, it cost $2 million. You can split the bill. Thanks.
I know personal war cash, but $2 million? Dude, that's not loud. I was thinking that time I turned down the volume a bit. Child, anyway, stop.
They both just froze and watched the David kiss me on the cheek and pull me away. I could feel their eyes piercing into my back, and I swear I was shaking. I was so nervous. Also, I might have been kind of nervous because this gorgeous boy was holding my hand and not letting go. For the rest of the party, he kept introducing me to everyone as his girlfriend, getting me drinks from the bar, and always making sure I was okay. No one had ever been so sweet to me
That's a
before.
sweetheart
Before the
there.
party was up, I thought to myself that David was actually a pretty cool guy. Not at all how I'd expected him to be. Little
Turn
did
it
I know
down.
that the next day, I
Then
discovered
move.
another side to him. I woke up to David knocking on my door. As
Okay,
soon as
I'm
I
gonna
saw
get
him,
away from
my
me.
heart started beating faster. "Do you want to come in?" I asked him. Then he just winked and said,
Duh, Lou. I couldn't wait to see you again.
I hate
He
you.
said, "Would you be interested in going on a date with me? I wanted to thank you for the night."
I could feel my face going
I'd rather not.
But I looked at him and said, sure.
Am I the only one who can turn down their crush like so cold-heartedly? My crush asked me out. Are you free? No, I'm pretty busy. I'm hanging out with my friends this week. That's just true. It's important. Sorry, what do you need from me? Okay. I'm just so cold-hearted to everyone. The music's like, yeah. When it's a big crush with me. What's up, dude? I get vibey around my crush. I need him to be basically wanted to do. But once that complimenting me, everything changes. Like once I call myself stupid, and confident and not stupid, I'm pretty and beautiful, smart. Like, bro. Who lied to you? Why did you be strong now? You tell me.
Why not? Well, let's just say the date wasn't what I had in mind. First, he took me to the mall. I was so confused. Then I realized he must have been embarrassed by my simple clothes. He said he wanted to treat me to some expensive clothes, which annoyed me. That wasn't my style at all. Why was he trying to change me? Then he took me to the club with all his friends, and he kept ordering the most expensive bottles of wine. He was just showing off, and I hated it. Then it got worse when a group of beautiful girls arrived. As soon as he saw them, he left me sitting there all alone.
Clear BPS. The only thing
Walk home.
understands you.
Just walk home. And if he asks you why you're leaving, tell him because you're screwing yourself.
Menu, gluten-free.
Perfect. I can eat it all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kristen, turn it down.
So he is about to go back and finish up.
Give me 1 minute, guys. Yeah, how I thought.
Alone and started flirting with them. Leah was right. He was nothing but a playboy, and I had enough.
There is none.
Much for a date. I told him
I'm drinking water.
and he got angry. He said I was a spoil sport, and then laughed, saying I didn't know how to have fun. I was furious.
Shoot
I said
him.
to him, why did you even invite me on this date? Just so you could show off and pretend you had a girlfriend? I didn't even wait for him to reply. I just left.
Yes, Queen, you do you.
I could barely sleep that night. I felt so annoyed at myself for almost falling for such an idiot. Then the next morning, things got even worse. I went downstairs and found Mark, Will, and Jeremy talking about David. They said he'd been arrested and put in a jail cell. Apparently, he'd been driving drunk, and when the police stopped him and fined him, he got mad and resisted them. So now he was in jail. Mark just laughed and said it was David's problem and that his parents would bail him out. Even though I was angry at the way David had treated me, I still felt sorry for him. I couldn't believe Mark would be so heartless. David is his cousin after all. I asked him which police station David was at, and then I stormed off to go find him. When I arrived at the station, David looked so happy to see me. He was exhausted and said, Lou, I'm so sorry about last night. He was such an ass. Please.
Yes, the hell you weren't. But I'm a nice person, so I came to bail you. Like no one else wanted to. So you know what? I think it was an apology or like $6 million. I think that would be really fucking nice.
Forgive
I'm
me.
popping on my head now.
I still felt kind of mad at him, but I said, I forgive you. Come on, let's get you home. He kept thanking me, saying how I was the only one who cared enough about him to come bail him out. He said, when I throw a party, all my friends come. When I open expensive wine, all the girls want to be my friends. So when I land up in jail, you're the only one sweet enough to come help me. I told him that was
That's okay how it be though when you're rich.
He kept smiling at me, and then something crazy happened. Right outside the police station, David turned to me and said, listen, Lou, I love you. I know I just pretended you were my girlfriend, but I couldn't stop thinking about you in the cell last night. I was wondering, will you be my girlfriend? For real?
Say no.
Shocked. I hadn't expected this at all. I mean, what was I supposed to say? I was speechless. If you want to know how I responded, stay tuned for the next episode.
I'm betting it's 20. I'm betting $200 right now is on the Marco William. Calling it right now. If it's not Marco William, I get to get shot. Episode 2 and 3 and 4.